All right, folks, we're recording the webinar. We're getting started. I know Tom Soy at the last minute got ill. I was able to jump in here, and we're going to go ahead and get rolling. First thing I need you to do, I've sent a link to everyone. It's to get on our playlist, so you subscribe to this thing, so that way you'll know when we're having when the videos are posted. Hello, Mateo. So, let me know once you've subscribed, if you would, in the playlist. Raise your hand so that I know you've gotten it, okay? Be awesome. Thank you, Caleb. All right, raise your hand once you've got that playlist link. I've sent you the message. I'll send it again. That should get you so you can be ready to go. I also posted it on, I'm going to post it here in a minute. Let me get a playlist over here on this one. Sorry. Just making sure I've got it. Let me go to my photo. Let's go to high school. No. That way you're automatically notified, hey, we've got the webinar, it's rolling. Raise your hands once you've done it. Once we have almost 80%, we'll be set. Another question, let me look here. Will it cause, nope. If you want a longer USB cord for your Raspberry Pi, there will be no issues with that whatsoever. Now, most everybody's going up there. Great. Excellent. I'm putting everybody's hands down. We're set to go on that. A little bit of big news here. Let's go back up here. All right. Now, we're just going to do a quick review and quiz. Not really important quiz, but a quiz to see how much you remembered on HTML. All right. Tell us to subscribe. Good. Everybody subscribed. I appreciate it. All right. The thing you need to do is we're going to start over again. So delete the index.html file on your computer, on your desktop, or downloads. Wherever you made the file Monday, go ahead and delete that. All right, I'm going to raise your hand when you've deleted the original file, and then we're going to create another index.html file format. If you're using Windows text editor, make sure you change the font back to basic. Like, let me show you mine. I've got it up here. It should look like clean. I just typed this in here a little bit ago, but it should look like clean. And then I want you to save it as index.html. So there it is right there. When everybody's done that, we get most everybody's done that, then we'll go on to the next step of this. All right, we'll get Hannah's going to be doing this, Harry, Mateo, we'll get everybody up here. So hopefully leave your hands up so I know what percent, guys. All right, great. Now, you're going to type this back in. Just let's review real quick what this is. Doctype HTML says, hey, this is an HTML document. HTML is where the HTML code starts and ends. Head, and this is where you add style and the title and it goes across the page. You also use CSS. This also can be a real time saver, so everything looks the same. Then body is where most of your information goes. Since you all are high schools, I would also say if you want a better text editor, if you get into doing this, you want brackets as a free one that's really very strong. Save a lot of money over Dreamweaver. All right. And then we did that title, My Imaginative Page. Mine, look at my code, is Mr. Dubik Quick Page. So you got title, Mr. D's Quick Page. I'm just reviewing that. And remember, we had I and S, I for italicized, S for strike through. And in the body of this, you could always put the beginning and end of something. So if you put bracket B, cat, bracket /B, cat, it would give you black. So that's how I got a black cat up there. This is my black cat. Now, so remember, I guess I'll do it in color so you can see it a little bit better. It's nested. The latest nested is the first slashed, right? That is the last tag to be opened, is the first tag to be closed. We're not going to go through there. We did headings. We're not going to worry about that right now. Remember, we use a paragraph. It kind of brings it down and indents it. You'll do a line break. It doesn't do that. Here's B for bold, italicized, underlined, strike through. In a minute, you're going to get all chance to do something, guys. So give it just a few moments here. All right. Now, line break is interesting for two reasons. One, it breaks it right one spot, doesn't put a space there, and it's just one word, BR. It's unpaired. And we were just getting to this when class ended last time. We have body, unordered list, ly/li, li/li, right? But if you wanted it ordered list, so in other words, 1, 2, 3, or just 1, 2, 3, but with the number in front of it, 1, 2, 3, you made it an order list, OL, you just /OL. Okay. Now, let's do a little quiz, as it were. Right off the bat, give your page a heading, the largest size and welcome message of your choosing. So let's go ahead and do that. Give it a heading in your page. You can give a title. You've already got a title of the page, so just give a heading and a welcoming message of your choosing. Raise your hand once you've done that. Great. All right, let's go to the next thing. Write a short paragraph, only has to be a couple sentences about you below the heading. Maybe something silly, we don't mind. So add that, please. Then, after you write that paragraph, add this bit of text right at the bottom of that. Just exactly the way you see it. All right. Put everybody's hands down here. If you've gotten this part, raise your hand again. If not, we can wait, no worries. Leave your hands up so that way I know, folks. All right. We still got some other. I hope, Hannah, you're able to work on this, and Levi, you're getting on this. All right. Now, present an unordered list of 3 places you'd like to visit. Put your hands down. Let's go ahead and do that. Raise your hands once you've gotten it. All right, let's go on and make an order list. Your 3 favorite sport video games. Your hands, everybody's hands down. This is all in the same document. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. Look on your web page, save it, and look at it. So see what it looks like. It should look something like this. This is where welcome. This is where I talk about myself. So exciting. Quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. There's ordered, unordered places, and then the listed things you like. Check the HTML code. Let's see if there's anything that were sent there. Oh, someone's asking questions here. Let me go back down here. I pull it up. Do they have to exist in the physical world? No. The numbers won't show up for me. Did you make it an ordered list or unordered list? Let me show you. I'll show you some code. All right, that was easy. H1 welcome / H1. That gives you that welcome, right? H1 bracket. This is where I type myself so exciting, just a paragraph / paragraph. Here's the details for the different fonts and whatnot. All right. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Okay. And here's for the unlisted. And I'll get you your numbers in a second. To get numbers, you got to have OL right there. Listed, OL. And I'll just show you all the code at once so everybody can look at it for a few moments. Just make sure it's right. Okay, can we go on next? And this, I'm just making this point to you. Look on the right. That looks almost like gibberish. It would work. So much easier to read. So good formatting makes it a lot easier to read your code. I can't stress enough. Now, someone asked, does formatting and indenting indicates working, but no numbers showing, then you're not quite doing something right. How do we change background color of our web page? Well, the way to do that, honestly, instead of giving that one answer, is if you do a search, if to answer that question, I would start doing something like, what HTML code do I use to change color of a web page? Then, when I do that, what I want to do is color change, use a font tag, choose your colors, carry so the text will be easy. For example, if you're using dark background color, all right. But that's not. I want to see background. I like these guys right here because they'll give you a reference and they'll show you how to do it. So I like these guys right here. They're pretty good about this stuff. Does that make sense? So that way, any question in HTML, I'll just go back and look at what somebody else has done. And you can see it. See Hello World, they changed it to purple, background color, and then they used a hex color to look that up. You can play with different ideas. And in HTML5, background color is actually going away. They want you to use CSS. That's the standards for that. All right. All right, now before we go any further on this, where's my link? So there's just a reminder in internet safety, what we're going to start on next in a little bit. Put everybody's hands down. We want to just always remind you, don't put on the web anything that you wouldn't share with your that you'd be proud to show your grandmother. And I wouldn't really share any details about your family, unless, I gotta be careful here because a lot of people put everything on Facebook. Like I've said before, my daughter takes a picture of everything she eats. She Snapchats it with my other daughter. So it's all what you taught your family and say what's comfortable for you. Just always remember, I would not put anything out on social media that you wouldn't be willing to share with your grandmother. College websites and jobs are looking at what you post in your social media. No need to send your full address or phone number either. We're going to create a Google site. Make sure your parents know. Make your site private or give yourself a link access. How many people have Gmail accounts? Raise your hand. Well, that makes it really very easy then. Great. Because we're going to use that for Google site. All right? Yeah, never put pictures of yourself without the site, without your parents. But we're making a Google site, so when you apply to college, if you'll take a picture of the stuff you make in the lab, we start making these infinity mirrors, you probably want to share that. Great. And creating Google Sites. You need a Gmail account to begin. Luckily, you all just said you have a Gmail account to begin. And we want to, okay, we'll run through that. Why do we bother every year using Google Sites? Because it's a nice template. Really, Google Sites just sits over HTML. It's single page, you customize it. Though the classic you can customize a lot. The new one, less so. But a lot of pre-built templates, and we like it. It's free. All right. So if you go log in under Gmail and go to Google Site and get ready to correct it. All right. So if you would, look it up and go ahead and get to that right now, folks. We'll put your hands down. We're going to go through this. If you already have a Google site from maybe last year, go ahead and open that back up. Let's take a look at it and see if we can add some things to it. If they say new or classic, select classic. Raise your hand once you've gotten to that point. Once you've got to this point right here, or you've opened up your old Google site and you can edit it. Got several people not yet, so let's give everybody a little more time. All right, come on, Mateo and Joshua and Levi. Let's get those in there, okay? Now, let's go through this. Be sure and select the blank template. For site name, use your first name. Well, what did I just do wrong? Name and then YAOT. If that is option not available, use your first name plus middle or last initials. So this name of my site would be Dubic YAOT. Select the team. Simple. I recommend something simple. The bottom captcha is to ensure you're not a robot, so you just can't sit out here and make it. Put everybody's hands down. Let me see if there's any questions. I just put in a random hexagon for color and got my website to turn blue. Very nice. Do I make a new page? We will in a little bit, Mateo. Let's get the site going, then we'll show you how to make new pages and things. All right? You know, again, that's all pretty common there. All right, so how do we do this? Well, you get to your site, you might have home, and it's the first thing up when you make your page. Let's talk about these three things around it. This edits the page, this creates a page, and this actually gives us more options. The more options is manage a site. Probably where we want to go to begin with. All right, we'll get the edit site layout in a little bit. So I'm going right here, go to more options, hit manage the site, and then we'll go there. So make sure you get to that point, folks. All right. Make sure it says show site name on the top page. I'll put everybody's hands down. Again, just want to see once you get, let me go here so we can all see this again. Make sure everybody's there. Remember, here's might be your page, my opening home page. I had three up here right there. One is edit a page, create a page, more options. Go to more options, manage site. Make sure you put show site at name at the top of the page, for example. Site notice a disposable message will show to site visitors. You can put that down. We don't really worry a whole lot about that. But notice up here, that's this is the important part. It's Dubic YAOT. You should be the name of your site right there. All right. A link to share, you know, you could share with other people. You could do public on the web, any on the web can view. So you can change that to off. Specifically to share with specific people or anyone with a link or on the popular. Make sure you save that. And then you're going to have edit cell layout. You got header, navigation. So let's make sure we got that done. Turn it off. Share with specific people. We're not making it public. Click on change. All right, off. Get the next people. All right, try that right now. Okay. Raise your hand if once you turn it to privacy off, so you know you've got it. And then you right to this page now. No, it's a lot of hand raising, but it's the only way I know we're going the right pace. All right, we got most people. Dale, make sure you're putting these on. Joshua, Kate, if you got it, raise your hand so we know we're all on the same page. Okay. Then, you can play around with this. You can do all kinds of things to configure a site header. You can change the center. You can put custom logos or you attach a file. Here I'm a header image and moving my header to the center of the screen. So there's all ways you can sit there and customize this, guys. Maybe we might have to do them. So that's how that would end up looking like. All right. All right. So there's an example right there. I'm trying to give you all a chance to do it. All right. A website versus a web page. A website is a collection of those pages, which makes kind of sense, right, guys? There's nothing profound here. All right, but we got to link them so we can organize them. And so when you create a page, which is what Mateo was just asking a little bit ago, you're going to click on that. So create a page in Dubik, name your page About Me, and we're going to put it on the top level. All right? So that's what that's about. Yes. Okay. Someone's asking some questions before I go in. Hey, did I not get where to go? Find the website. I'm not sure what that. Okay, Mateo, we just talked about creating a site. Go on Google, go on your Gmail, and you should have a Google site there, I'll bet, if you logged in. I will show you this. If you go on your Gmail and then you look on right that little let's get you over here. Let me go to my drive. So if I go over here and under Gmail, and then you have this little icon, look at my screen, Mateo. Right there, if I do Google Apps, I can find, if I start looking through more, I will find when it says Google site for me. All right. Here's context. I mean, they keep adding them. And see, the one thing about them is like there's Google Classroom. So they're kind of stressing sites a little bit less. And you go over to here and you'll find Google Assistants. They've got Google everything. Work smarter. There we go. Google Flash sites. Click there. Brings it up. Now, start your first site. It creates it. You can go. Okay? And they keep changing it. It's owned by anyone, owned by me, whatever. All right? Oh, let's get back over here. All right. And so that's what you're going to see on it. But try to get the classic site. Avoid the new one. The new one doesn't give you the freedom. Good job. You're back up to speed. Well done, Joshua. Nice. Okay, I'm going to keep looking at the short answer questions. Sorry, I'm not looking at it there. All right. Okay, so I'm a high school computer science engineering teacher down in Alabama. Denise made this. While I'm not at work, I love running, baking, and my little rascals. There's a Poochie dog right there, and there is little her cat. Calls Peanut. Cat is huge. Seriously, biggest cat you'd ever seen. All right, and you can add images, and you can click them there. You can link them. You can do all kinds of formatting right here. All right. Click on it again, stay home, and add About Me page. So then go back to your edit site layout section. Click on navigation bar, it should say home, and add About Me page. So what that does is, when you go over here, there's an edit site layout choice. If you go over up, let me show you one right here. When you go to edit site layout, we did manage site, but when you go to edit site layout, when you're on a page, you can do things. And what you end up doing is kind of cool, as you add a page to this, and now you can start doing drop-down menus with these choices. You can also make them 1 column, 2 column, that kind of thing. All right, it's home, About Me, failure of success. You can drop all that right in there. Whoops. And you can have a blog post on there. So, but just try to edit the site layout. That'll allow you to play with that. All right. If I look at my Google site, let me see here. I have some different. If I go on my T. Dubik Cheryl Latinnet, I have lots of sites that we do up on that. You can also do it this way. Let me see. Oops. So I'm going to go in here, create a site. All right, it's Google Sites. I'll go right back through this with you guys. See, here are all some of the sites that I've got in here. And they're all just, and there's new Google sites, and they pull that up. I'm less crazy about new Google sites. Go to classic sites. That's right, you're allowed more flexibility right now. We're not much So if I create one in classic sites, you see it there, name yourself, test, YEOT. I'm even doing it right there. That's what layout. You wouldn't really create test YEOT. Waiting for the site to come up. All right. Remember, you can manage your site. That's the first thing we showed you. And we went in here to change, can people see it in public? All right. Security, allow embedded other sites, those kinds of things. General sharing and permissions is what we're going for in this. And I can change it to anybody I want to share. And I can invite it. So I could just, what I wanted you to say was off. So I set it there. All right. And then, so we got manage site. Let's go back here. All right, so let's save it. I'll save it right there. There's a little lag on my web page, I'm sorry. So any questions, write what I just did right there. I'm managing the site and I'm changing my access. All right, so let's, come on. So now I'm back to here. By using that back arrow, I got back to testy. Test YOT, but it came out testy, right? I go here to create a page, and I'll name my page. Put it under home page. I'm going to put this under home page. I'm going to call it me. Create. So there I am under home page is me. This is all about me. Boom. There we go. Save. Now, you can come down here and we can do all kinds of, like, we can go to home. And then we can go into here, we can go to site layout. And you can make a header, horizontal sidebar, custom. This kind of, you play with different things. That's with the sidebar, and you got this. So there's no right or wrong on this right now. This is what do you want. There's sidebar. See how each one of these is a little bit different? Yeah, custom footer. All right. And you change by percentages, pixels, all kinds of different things you can do there. All right. Then you can click on this, and you can add pages or you can add tabs here. All right, so I can do a tab. I'm going to add a page. The only page I really have is under me. I'm going to say OK. I got it under tabs, and I'm going to do this. Say, so use this brackets to go back and forth. I'm going to move it so it indents under home. Say OK. If I go up to home, all right, it's underneath it. Configure navigation, say OK, sorry. You got close. So then when I hit home, it's all right there. And on their subpage, there's me. All right. Now, clearly in 1 hour here and 30 minutes of that review, we can't necessarily go all the ways you can play with that Google site. But go ahead and try it out. I would tell you keep everything kind of simple. Now, let me go through and ask some questions as I was busy playing with all that. How do you delete a page? That would probably be under site management, so let's go under here. Print page, delete page. There it is. Does that help, Philip? All right. You all got your Raspberry Pis. And I asked this last time. I was to make sure. Has everybody gotten a chance by now? And you can keep working on your site. And that's fine while we talk. All I want to know is just a couple things. I hope by now everybody's tried their Raspberry Pi out and they made sure it works. Good. I'm glad everybody's gone and tried it out. You can use it to browse. It'll work pretty well as a browser now. They've really gotten that thing to roll. Okay. We will be, in the upcoming little while, learning Python and then tying into that Raspberry Pi and getting into these other things. Again, Tom DeToy at the last minute was sick tonight, and so that's kind of, we were going to go Google site anyways and review the HTML, but I wanted you to see it. All right. Now, with the few minutes we have here before we get bouncing into the next big topic, and that won't be until Monday, Python and some different things. Really, the Raspberry Pi, I should say. Okay, I'm jumping the gun there. Did anybody see the big news about self-driving cars in the last day or two? Raise your hand if you did. All right, a couple of you did. Grace or Joshua, write to me what you have. All right, if it's okay, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you. All right, Grace, I'm going to unmute you. Grace, what did they end up finding? What did they find on self-driving cars? What happened? Well, I don't have Grace there, so if you want to write it out, guys, you're not expecting to talk or don't have a mic, that's fine too. Joshua, do you know? Either one of you, you can write down as a question. Let's just send it to me. Damn, put them on the spot there. Didn't mean to do that. Well, I will tell everybody while we're all here. They've just passed more legislation to get driverless cars on the road. That's been a big world concern with driverless cars is, well, how in the world is the public going to support it? Our laws are that at the state level, is each state going to have its own rules about driving autonomous cars? And they actually know the government's on it. It's gone national, much as Europe has already jumped on it. They have agreements on how to do it. So it's really an exciting time. That was one point that passed. Oh, just heard my dad. No worries. So that's a big deal. I really think you're going to spend much of your life as a driver and seeing a lot of autonomous cars and trucks. The other important announcement on the vehicle range is Volkswagen announced that all of their vehicles will be electric by 2030. Now, for some of you, I know 2030 sounds like, oh my gosh, that's forever. That's only 13 years away. You'll be 25. You'll be a young adult. And the majority of vehicles by then, for example, Volkswagen is going all electric. And that's driven to a certain extent that most of the world is going in that direction. China, in a very big way, is going electric. And so electric cars will be the dominant player, which is very different from your parents' life. So you got autonomous cars coming, more and more of that. We're already seeing some of the safety features, and you're going to see a bigger and bigger emphasis on electric by the sheer size of China's market. So that's how they're going to combat the smog they're fighting right now. They're also doing a lot with renewables. Okay? Because if you go to downtown China, listen to me. You go to the major cities in China, you have to wear a mask. The pollution can be that bad. All right? So that was the two big news on the automotive front. I thought they were both intriguing because this is all happening much, much faster than I think any of us thought it would that are involved in this at all. If you had asked me 5 years ago, I would have said, well, we might see some autonomous cars, on the roads, maybe testing in the someday, 2030, 2040. I think we're going to have autonomous cars on the road much sooner than that. And the next year or two, you're going to hear states where they're letting them run. All right, without a person being in them. Right now, there's autonomous cars, but people are still in them. There's going to come a time pretty soon when they don't. All right. Anybody else have any questions or anything? All right. If not, you've got your Google Sites. Let's prepare to get ready for our Raspberry Pis. Make sure we're set to go on those. It's 8:55. If there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. All right, then. You all have a great one now. Bye-bye. Bye, Jean-Marc. Bye-bye, all. You're welcome. Thanks for coming.